today is the day. Chiefs versus Bills in the divisional round of the 2024 NFL playoffs. We appreciate you taking some time out of your morning to spend it with us right here on the Chiefs Report ahead of this matchup between the Bills-Chiefs divisional matchup today. Man, I'm super excited, and I hope you are too, because this is a big game as the Chiefs can win and advance to another AFC Championship game. But before that, there's a lot we got to take care of here. We're going to talk about it all on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm Jace Andrews, and let's get rolling here with the first Chiefs injuries. This is what we have as of right now. Wanya Morris, concussion. Kadarius, Toney, hip and ankle. Justyn Ross, hamstring, and Derrick Nnadi, elbow. All these guys have these injury designations. Don't know exactly just if they will play. I would assume Morris, Toney, Ross will all be eligible to play. Nnadi probably most likely will not be eligible. We'll have any updates we have right in the comment section. Make sure you go check that out to see who exactly is playing and who isn't. But these are the guys with the injury designations currently. Now, we do have a live watch party for this game coming up later on in today's, today, to be honest. So come up there and watch us on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And if you turn off those notifications, you turn them on right now. You're going to get a notification 30 minutes before we go live. Game's at 5:30. We're going to go live around 4:30. You're getting a notification right at around 4 o'clock Central Time. So go down there, subscribe, and turn on the bell to hit that notifications going. And make sure you're joining us for the live watch party coming up just later today. Let's get into some matchups to watch for this game, with the first one being James Cook versus the Kansas City defense. And if you watched the first game back in Week 14, well, you know exactly why this is a matchup to watch, because ultimately James Cook really shredded them. Now, overall this season, he's been a really solid running back. 237 carries, over 1,000 yards, and then along with it, 44 receptions for over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns combined between rushing and receiving. This guy has played absolutely exceptional, and if you remember back to that Week 14 game, man, oh man, was he the Grim Reaper to the Chiefs. 10 carries for 58 yards, but the bigger number, he was the leading receiver. 5 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. We've talked about it a lot this year. The Chiefs have really struggled with receiving backs, and James Cook fits that mold exactly. If the Chiefs want to come out with the victory today, well then guess what? They're going to have to control James Cook and understand that he is a very important piece to this Bills offense, and you're going to need to stop him both rushing and receiving, which is a hard thing to do, especially when you have Josh Allen, who you also have to worry about if he goes off taking on running, if he goes off and tries to get out of the pocket. A lot of things to worry about, but I trust this coach, that this Chiefs defense, and that Coach Spags has these guys ready to go for today's matchup. Now, here's the thing. The Chiefs taking on the Bills today. What's your confidence in beating the Bills right here as we stand? We're coming up, just a couple hours away from the game. Scale of 1 to 10. What is your confidence level? Let me know in the comment section before we get the game going later today at 5:30. What's your confidence level? Scale of 1 through 10. Give me a number, 1 being least confident, 10 being most confident. Get in the comment section down below. Our second matchup to watch is Sac City versus the Buffalo Bills. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I'm talking about guys like George Karlaftis, like Chris Jones, like hopefully Derrick Nnadi if he's able to play, but more importantly, Mike Dana, who's also been amazing this year. This Chiefs defensive line has been one of the best in the NFL. In fact, they're the second best in sacks. They have 57, which only trail the Baltimore Ravens, who have 60, just 3 more. But it's going to be the battle of the trenches, and exactly why? Well, you see it right here. The Chiefs may be second in the NFL in sacks, but the Bills, well, they're first in the NFL in sacks allowed on their offensive line. So this is going to be a huge battle of who can win the line of scrimmage. Who can win that part of the game? If the Chiefs can, they can get pressure on Josh Allen, they can stop James Cook, then this could be a smooth sailing game for the Kansas City Chiefs. If they cannot, well, that makes that game, or this game, ever so much harder. Now let's look at this Chiefs defensive line, because I think there's a couple of key guys. Obviously, Derrick Nnadi injured at the moment. Don't know if he will play or not. But Mike Dana, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, they've all been playing amazing. And if Nnadi can't go, that's okay. You got Charles Omenihu. There's a potential that you could slide Dana into the defensive tackle position. Or you have Tershawn Wharton, and you've sat with Neil Farrell Jr., who you traded for from the Raiders back before the season even started. Now you have a chance where he can come in and step up here in the playoffs. A lot of options to go with Nnadi potentially being out this game. And hey, even if he's not, it's going to be tough for him to play at full capacity. I would expect to see a lot of Charles Omenihu, a lot of Tershawn Wharton, and maybe some even of Neil Farrell Jr. Hopefully, though, we'll get a really good defensive line coming up here later in this game. I want you to pick a line that could win this line of scrimmage. If it's the Chiefs' defensive line, then type D. If it's the Bills' offensive line, you think the Bills are going to win the trench battle, well, then I want you to get in the comments section and type O. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments of today's video. Our third matchup to watch is one that is no surprise to anybody. Mahomes versus the Bills secondary. And Mahomes this season has been playing, well, not exactly Mahomes-esque. But at the same time, his stats still speaks volumes because people have talked about him all year saying, oh, Patrick Mahomes is having an off year. Patrick Mahomes isn't as good. Patrick Mahomes looks bad. Oh, he can't win without wide receivers. Yet at the same time, he has over 4,000 yards this regular season. He had 27 touchdowns and 14 receptions. And this was all without even playing the last game of the season. This guy knows what he's doing. He's still good. And for the people out there saying he had a down year, or saying that he had this, maybe he did. But to Patrick Mahomes' standard, it was a down year. To everybody else's standards, it was still an incredible year, and it's going to have to continue if the Chiefs want to win this game. Why? Well, the Bills are 7th in passing defense. They're allowing less than 200 yards per game. Now, I don't root for injuries. We never do that. But you do take advantage of them. And the Bills secondary is battered and bruised. You have their best tackler, the linebacker, Terrel, who looking like will not play in this game. And that's a huge blow to this Buffalo Bills defense. And overall, the way they can kind of control the game. We know that Bernard, just kind of in the best way, a game manager. He can go out there and run left, run right. He can blitz. He can do a lot of things. He's the Bills' Nick Bolton, and so to say. So it'll be interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes attacks the secondary without Terrel Bernard. Tell you what, though, you shouldn't be without Factor meals because if you're looking to get started on your resolutions with Factor, well, then today is the day to do it. Now, Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery service takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, the prep work, and cooking fatigue, and instead get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Factor now offers loads of snack options like breakfast, smoothies, juices, snacks, and more to keep you going no matter what the schedule is. And heck, if you needed a special occasion meal, well, Gourmet Plus is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options done easily. So stress less over mealtime in the new year with Factor's no prep, no mess, meals free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and cleanup. No more wasting time in the kitchen. Head to factormeals.com/ChiefsChat50 and use code ChiefsChat50 to get 50% off. That's code ChiefsChat50 at factormeals.com/ChiefsChat50 to get 50% off. We're going to put that in the links and the comments of today's video. All right, the fourth matchup to watch is Isaiah Pacheco versus the entirety of the Bills. And you want to know why? Well, because Pacheco didn't play last time. In fact, he wasn't the only one who didn't play. If we look back to that Week 14 matchup, guess what? The Bills played a Chiefs team without Isaiah Pacheco, without Drew Tranquill, and without Donovan Smith. All three are looking to be active for today's game. Guess what? That creates for a big, big difference in this one, especially when the Chiefs only lost by 3 just those couple weeks ago. Now, I went digging and saw this. The Chiefs are 8-2 when Isaiah Pacheco runs the ball 15-plus times. But when he runs it less than 15 times, they're 2-3. Well, there you go. That seems like it's a pretty obvious solution, right? Just one more with Pacheco. It's not exactly the right way, but that's the idea. Get him going and allow him to kind of open up this passing game because I'm telling you what, he's going to pop the Bills' defense today. Now, I want to go back to Week 14 and tell you how bad the rushing attack actually was. You're looking at this and you're thinking, Jace, this is awful. What is this? These are the 3 leading rushers in that Week 14 game versus the Bills. Yes, you heard me right. Leading rushers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had the most, 11 carries for 39 yards and 3.5 on the average. Joe McKinnon was right behind him, 4 carries for 19 yards and 4.8 on the average. And then Kadarius freaking Toney had 2 carries for 16 yards in this game as well. Running is going to be a huge part of tonight's game, and given the Chiefs have Pacheco back, I don't want to say this was a good thing, but not having Pacheco in that Week 14 matchup and having him now creates such a big divide, creates such a big difference that I almost think the Bills may not know exactly how to play this. Now, I could be wrong. Pop could be nullified today, but we will see. I think overall running is going to be a huge part to either a Chiefs win or a Chiefs loss, depending on how it goes. Now, I'm telling you what, if you made it this far in the show, you're still watching, you're still hanging out with us, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, girls? Get down there and subscribe. We're putting out Chiefs content every single day. Doesn't matter what happens after today's game. Hopefully it's a win, but even if it's not, guess what? We're still going to have coverage. And if it is a win, we're going to have even more coverage because guess what? That means the AFC Championship game is on the horizon, and we've got you covered. So hit that subscribe button right here, right now. The fifth matchup to watch, and one that may be the most important, is Josh Allen versus the Chiefs secondary. This is the one that people have been talking about. This is the one that people have been looking at and saying, all right, whoever wins this battle could win the game. The Chiefs, here's their resume. 4 cornerbacks, all in the top 60 in PFF grades. Trip McDuffie, Josh Williams, and L'Jarius Sneed, the made 3. Those 3 guys in the top 32 with L'Jarius Sneed, who has technically been the best of these 3, to be quite honest with you. No touchdowns allowed and has shut down a bunch of amazing wide receivers. Well, he's 31st, whereas Josh Williams, Trip McDuffie, 4th and 25th. These guys have to lock down the likes of, guess what, Stephon Diggs. Shakir, he's been an amazing guy over the past weeks. We'll see if Gabe Davis plays or not. We do not know. He is also on that injury report. We do not know what exactly he'll be just yet. But these guys are going to have to lock down a pretty impressive Bills receiving core and a pretty impressive Bills quarterback. But Josh Allen against the Chiefs in the playoffs, a little less than above average. 64.7 on the completion percentage, 616 yards, 6 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. But guess what? 2 games, no wins. So although the stats look pretty nice, doesn't mean wins and doesn't mean victories for Josh Allen. He gets home field advantage, but Patrick Mahomes in a villain role, I'm scared. I'm scared. Give me a player you're watching here on this evening's game, or either the Bills for the Chiefs. Let me know who a player is that you're checking out. You want to see if they're ready to go and who you're watching. We appreciate you watching, and if you want my player, well then guess what? You know who it is. It's Isaiah Pacheco. Well, give me your player down in the comment section down below and hit that like button to get a little good vibes going for today's game. But we will see you later today on our Chiefs versus Bills live watch party. Be there or be square. It's a big game, and we'd appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us for what hopefully is just one of 3 more games we get to do. We appreciate you, Chiefs Kingdom, and as always, peace out.